Hello, everyone. Let me adjust the lighting here. So today is Wifey Wednesday me time, and I just want to start really quick by saying Wifey Wednesday, I chose that because Wednesday starts with W and so does wife. Like really, that's the only reason I chose it. So, but Wednesdays are about relationships, and so we're going to get into a topic about relationships today, specifically what's going on in the finances. And this is a lot of information here again about men and women and the difference between them. And so if you're not in a traditional male-female relationship, you can listen to this as like whichever one of you has the more female and the more masculine energy, you can listen to it like that. And with that being said, women's DNA, like the hormones that you have, they're guiding you. And so even though you may have masculine energy, like I'm a woman, right? But I have a lot of testosterone. So I tend to have a lot of masculine thinking. So if that fits for you, that's awesome. And today we're calling it Wifey Wednesday Me Time anyway, because it rhymes with W. And I'm Love Coach Heather Hundhausen. And I know that as a powerful, world-changing woman, it's hard for you sometimes to get a few minutes to yourself. So I want to acknowledge you for being here today, taking time with me to learn something about a little secret about what's going on with the finances, because I'm so excited about this topic. I wanted to start early, but I didn't want to do that to you guys. I want to make sure that you're here with me. So I help women. What I do, my mission in the world is to help women who are struggling between being in control and really learning how to let go and surrender so that they can be their beautifully authentic selves, which creates this really incredible, beautiful, amazing light. And when you're in touch with that amazing light that's inside of you, you can influence the world in a really incredible way. I like to think about it like, I have this vision in my mind of this older woman. She's like 75 or maybe she's like 87, and she's got gray hair but these like brilliant blue eyes, and she's just so alive and full of spirit, right? And that's what I'm aiming for. I want to be that, and I'm guiding other people to be that, and working on it every day. So, and in meditation this morning, I almost threw this whole entire talk out, but I think it's so important. I started rereading my notes and I was like, oh, we got to do this one. It's too good. All right. So how many of you know that men are pretty straightforward and easy to understand creatures? If you understand that, be like, yep, that's me. I understand. They're pretty straightforward. How many of you think that men are like freaking awesome? They're just like amazing, amazing creatures on earth. So the only reason that if you don't think your man is awesome, it's probably because you've been brainwashed by some BS on television and media that all men are like Homer Simpson or everybody loves Raymond, right? Okay, they're not. So that's a whole other training. When you characterize somebody, like if you're looking at your husband and you think he's like everybody loves Raymond, guess what? You're going to get everybody loves Raymond. But that's not today's talk. So let me get back on track. So I think men are awesome. And if you treat them like they're good for nothing, then they, like, really, what kind of a standard are you holding them to, right? Like, not a really great standard. So it's a direct reflection on how much you believe that you deserve, which of course comes back to self-love. So, if your man is like a bum on the couch and you're not holding him up to a higher standard of who he really is, you get to look at who you are, that you're okay with a guy who's a bum on the couch. And that comes back to self-love. You know, what do you deserve? What kind of love do you deserve in your life? And as you're in touch with that, you can really call forward the greatness of your man. So let's get into this. So as you know, for the next few weeks, I'm going to go live every morning, and I'm going to show you guys how self-love is the root of all healing, and not having it really is the root of all of your problems. And today's topic is relationship and money, a secret that every man knows, but women are just clueless about. So this is exactly what I'm going to share. I'm going to show you a way that you can look at your husband or your partner with new eyes and with a new perspective, so you can actually see how wonderfully amazing he is, and you can talk to him like that, and you can give him the opportunity to step into this loving, giving, wonderful man that I know he is, under all of his protections, even when the babies and the children are getting in the way of everything that you used to love about each other and understand about each other, okay? So we're gonna break down support in finances and the importance of understanding why he's doing like the crazy stuff that he's doing with work and business and money, okay? So before we get started, if you know someone who's struggling with their partner and talking about money and business and finance and all of that kind of stuff, invite them in, share this video with them, invite them in to come be part of this with us so that they can get this awesome information too, and you know that they're going to thank you for thinking of them. It's always awesome. I think it's always awesome when my friends share stuff with me that they know I'm struggling with, and I watch it, I'm like, oh God, thank you so much, you know? So, you know, let's foster all of our relationships. So, you know, let your friends know that this is happening too. All right, so let's get into the content. If you guys have questions, pop them in the comment box. I'm happy to answer them. So, and I love dialoguing with you. So if you have questions or if something's confusing or like if you even want to go off topic, I would much rather do that. I'm here to serve you. The reason I'm making these videos is because I want to serve you. So I'm just like coming up with stuff off the top of my head, things that show up in my coaching sessions with clients, stuff that I've had personal experience with, you know, so I want to know what you're dealing with, what you're struggling with. And so throw it in the comment box and let's have a conversation. I'd be happy to, you know, to support you. So here are two awesome secrets about men. And when you start looking for them, like when I'm going to tell them to you, and then when you start looking at your man from this new perspective, I promise everything is going to change. Okay. Number one, men are trying to make us happy all of the time. Now, it's a little different from the way we're trying to make them happy all the time, because we do these really weird things as women. We like turn ourselves into somebody that we're not because we're trying to make them happy. That's not what I'm talking about. Men want, number two, men want to provide for us. Like they want to give us what we want. They really do. Like they want to make us happy and they want to give us what we want. They want to make us happy. They want to provide for us, okay? If you can look at your partner with those eyes, I promise everything is going to change. I mean, everything. So it's literally in their DNA. 10 million years of hunting and, you know, fighting the mammoth, you know, killing the mammoth and killing the attacking other tribe or whatever, you know, and they're the bigger, stronger gender, and they fought and protected women and children. Like 10 million years of DNA, like this is deeply entrenched. They know deep, deep down inside of them that their job is to fight for us and keep us happy and provide for us and protect us. Is this making sense to you guys? Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is important, important information. And when you start living out of it in your relationship, I promise everything is going to change. Because most of the time, we look at our husbands and we're like, oh, you're such a pain. Why don't you help with the kids? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of complaints with my poor first husband. So the relationship challenge comes up when the mommy has babies and the daddy is at work all the time, right? Can anybody relate to this? Oh, yes, I'm relating to this, Heather. Like I definitely went through this, right? So I've even seen this happen in couples that don't have children. So, you know, like he's trying to provide for her and give her what, like maybe she spends a lot, you know, and he's trying to provide for her and give her what she wants and what he thinks she needs. And so he's like overworking and like, you know, they don't even get any time to spend together. You guys relating to this? Is anybody? Like, is this good stuff? All right. So when baby number one pops out of the womb, mommy goes, I have to keep this baby alive. I have to feed it and keep it safe, right? Like that's a natural instinct of a mother. And daddy goes, I have to bring the food to mommy so I can keep mommy alive because then mommy's going to keep the baby alive, right? That's what cavemen are thinking. So how this translates into these days is mommy says, oh no, I can't leave my baby and go back to work, right? I mean, if you've had a baby, more than likely you've felt that. I mean, I have a lot of masculine energy and I felt that. So if you have a lot of feminine energy, you're definitely feeling that one. And then daddy goes, the baby comes out and all daddy can think is, oh my God, I have to pay for this kid's college education, which is like 18 years later. But, it's what he's thinking about. Like, I even heard one of my clients this week say, my son is 16, he's gonna be going to college soon. I gotta really amp up my business. I gotta put it in high gear. My kid's going to college, like this is just how they think. They want to protect and provide for the people that they love. So it turns into how to make money and how much money do we need as a team. And when I'm working with couples, I think that money is never actually about money. Money generally is about control, and it's about providing, and it's about meeting needs, and it's about making each other happy. So if you take money out of the equation and you just start looking at what does the money represent, that's really where you have a lot of success in talking about money in your relationship. All right, so I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to start with the example. I'm going to do a bunch of teaching, and then I'm going to end with what really worked in this example, okay? So we're going to hold this in our minds through the talk. Okay, so here's an example. I have a client who makes a lot of money. Okay, his partner that he lives with and he shares a house with and he shares a life with, I'm going to just call her his wife because that's easy. She's saved a lot of money. So she's rich in savings and he's rich in cash flow. So he makes a lot and he spends a lot, and she makes plenty and saves plenty, okay? So men, as you all now know, I think they're beautiful, amazing creatures, and when they're treated with respect and they're honored, they'll do nothing less than to try to make us happy and take care of us all the time. But what we don't understand as women is that they have expectations of us that we aren't aware of at all. But they understand it. So there's a communication breakdown because it's like, well, duh for them, but we aren't even clued into it. Okay, so I'm gonna get into that. So here's one thing that all men know, but women don't understand, and it's a little secret about men. Men want to build an empire and they wanna make us happy. Okay, so how do you build an empire and make your wife happy? Okay, so this is where it gets tricky because women don't understand this whole strategic plotting and planning to kill the mammoth. We're just like, can't you just be home and help me with the kids, right? So if you need to spend time with them and you want to be with them and they want to provide for you monetarily and they want to make the money and bring home the kill and provide for you by making you happy and spending time with you, they understand that doing this means you work with them. And sometimes it literally means like you go to work with them, like you become their secretary or you become their account manager or whatever, right? And I'm sure that some of you who have entrepreneur husbands or partners are like, oh my God, yeah, he totally does that. Like, oh my gosh, I get it now. So or it means you leave him alone completely and you take care of the house and the kids and he makes his business work, okay? So am I making sense here? Are you guys getting this? So he wants to make you happy and he wants to spend time with you and he wants to spend time with the kids because that's going to make you happy. So he thinks, well, then you get to work with me. Or he says, well, why don't you take care of the house and the kids and all of that, and I'll be the one to provide for us. And this is where there's a huge breakdown in relationships that happen. So let me get into it a little more. If he starts a business and you want to spend time with him, he wants you there with him, helping and supporting, or the other side would be leaving him alone so he can get done what he needs to get done so he can support you and the kids. If he starts a business and you don't support him, either directly in the business or at home, he's like super confused about why you're being so disrespectful. Is anybody like relating to this? You guys getting this, right? Is this making sense? He wants to spend time with you. And so in his mind, he's creating a win-win, but maybe you don't want to work for him or you don't see it as a win-win. You see it maybe as like he's being controlling or pressuring or simply just, this is just not what you want to be doing. So let's go back to the caveman, right? Men work well in teams, right? You can't kill a mammoth all by yourself. You're not big and strong enough. You need lots of big and strong guys to kill a mammoth. So they need a detailed plan of action and a lot of team players whose roles are specifically spelled out. They're super like direct and logical and detailed, And women are not like that, right? I'm going to get into that on the talk on Friday, the difference between men and women in our DNA, like the tribal differences, especially about women. So we don't work in man tribes anymore. So who's his tribe now? Guess who his tribe is now? It's you. So he expects you to be his teammate. You're now his mammoth killing buddy. And your DNA doesn't set you up as the mammoth killing buddy. Like, it's just not in your DNA, it's not your role. So another little side note, if the man works at a job, right, he doesn't own his own business, he's working for someone else, he wants to be able to provide for you still and bring you nice things and give you a nice home and take care of the children. So if that's what he chooses to do, guess what? He's going to work many, 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 many hours, which then we get mad about because we want them home and we're exhausted being moms alone. And that's a whole other topic. Moms, right? Like, get some support. Get some support from other moms. That's a whole other side note. And that's self-love, right? If you like can't handle, I'm totally on a tangent, but if you can't handle it as a mom, I couldn't handle it. I mean, I'll admit it. It was like, I couldn't breathe, right? With 2 little ones at home, I was like, I am going to go insane. And so I made play dates like every day. Either people came over or I took my kids somewhere, because it's so much easier when you're in a group. And think about it, 10 million years of DNA, like, we lived in tribes, all the babies played together and all the mommies worked together. Like, do what comes naturally. Don't try to do it all on your own. Okay, that's totally a tangent. Let me get back on track. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so if he starts his own business, he's doing this to provide for you. So in his mind, he's making you happy and giving you what he wants. So the trick is, as always, communicate clearly what you actually want. Like, don't leave it up to him to try to figure out what he thinks is going to make you happy, because if you don't tell him that's what he's going to do, he wants to make you happy, and in his like logical structured brain, he's going, this makes her happy and this makes, so if I do this, like, seriously, tell him what you need. So the number one breakdown in communication is he thinks he knows what will make you happy, and then he goes and does it because that's what they do. They're men and they take action. So he actually makes up what he thinks is going to make you happy, and then he gives it to you. Okay, so think about it, right? Imagine all the stupid stuff he does. Like, I know they do stupid stuff. They all do, like, to us, we're like, what are you doing? It's stupid, right? Think about it from his perspective, and think about it as he's actually trying to make you happy. Can you see it? Like, think of the last stupid thing. I mean, I'm saying stupid because, like, that's how we see it. But it's not stupid. It's super loving and super giving. And the problem is, most of us are like, God, you're so stupid. And when we see them as stupid, then they lose their sense of self-esteem, and then they actually don't want to provide for us anymore, because then they see us as an ass, and, right, it's like secular. So imagine in your mind the last quote-unquote stupid thing he did, and try to see it from his perspective as him trying to give you something or provide for you in some way. Like, there should be a lot of light bulbs going on right now. Like, oh my gosh, it's so true. Like, so if he did something, put it in the comments, because I want everybody to understand how this works. Like, I want to share it together. So comment about something your man has done because he thinks it's going to make you happy. And you can let us know if it made you happy or if it made you furious. Like, did you ask for it or did he make up his mind about it? Like, so here's an example from my life. So for instance, he remodels the house. Like, he's literally knocking down walls in the house because he thinks that I want a nice house, but I don't want a nice house. I could care less about having a nice house. And maybe I never even said anything about a house, but in his mind, he thinks all women like a Martha Stewart house, you know? And his mother liked upgrades, and maybe, I don't know, maybe his father never did upgrades or something, you know? Maybe he was too busy or something. So I don't know, maybe my ex-husband was like, oh, I'm going to take care of my woman better than my dad took care of my mom, and I'm going to build her a nice house. Like, but I didn't want that. I'm not interested in that. Like, you're not actually making me happy, buddy, you know? So to further complicate it, many women don't even know what they want, right? Like, I can't tell you how many women that I work with don't even know what they desire or need. So we're so far away from knowing what we want, and then we get brainwashed by television, and we feel incomplete and lacking, and we aren't even taking the time to get to know ourselves and find ourselves. So this is where it comes back to self-love. If I know myself, if I know my needs, I know my wants, I know my desires, I don't want a Martha Stewart house. That's not what I want, you know, because I'm not brainwashed by the Martha Stewart show or whatever it is, you know. But like I've taken time to know, what do I want? And then I can ask for that. So, and that's self-love. Okay, so let me go back to the original example with cash flow guy. So here's the guy who's rich in cash flow and his wife is rich in savings, and he's complaining to me that he doesn't want to share with her, or she doesn't want to share with him, and he's getting all like bent out of shape about the money, right? And I know that it's not actually true. Like I know that it's not about the money. And so I know that the reason that he doesn't want to share with her is because she's closed down to him. So check it out. I explained it and I said, listen, buddy, if she was to suddenly, like every day when you came home, just like jump in your arms when you came home, and she was like super open and vulnerable and told you all her stuff, and she created like a nice super soft nest for you that was really safe, and she loves you the way she loves the puppy and the way she loves the kids. Would this even be a conversation? Guys, guess what he said. Just seriously, guess. Is this an issue? Right? If she's being open and loving like that, is the money even an issue? No freaking way. And he was like, no way. He's like, this would not even be an issue. He was like, I would give her everything. I wouldn't even think about it. I would just like give it all to her, you know? And he basically went into how he would like joyfully pay for the house and build the empire by himself and take care of her and her kids. And he was like, I wouldn't even be thinking about this, right? So it was amazing to hear him talk about all of the things that he would give her, and to hear him admit that it wasn't about the money. And that if it was like that, if she was this space for him, that it would be so different. So basically, if you can create a nest for them and support them and love them and snuggle them and like make them feel so valuable and worthy, they want to provide for you and take care of you. I think I've told you guys this before, but like, you know, after I've had some really intimate moments with Mike, he's so cute. I'd be like, baby, I just want to go. Oh, there's the lawnmower guy. He'd be like, baby, I just want to go climb a coconut tree and bring you coconuts. You know, it's like, it's very tribal. It's very like, I don't know, what would the word be for that? Like natural, you know? It's like those old rooted, like the DNA is talking, you know? So let's take a minute and really think about it. And I'm super sorry that the guy decided he's going to blow off my patio right now. Yay! I don't know if you guys can even hear that, so let me keep going. So let's take a minute and really think about it. And I want you to share in the comments. What do you need from your man? What do you actually need? And like in terms of finances, what do you need? What do you need in terms of support? How can he actually provide for you and make you happy? Like, write it in the comments. Don't be scared. Like, we're all dealing with this stuff. I promise. It's not just you and it's not just me. Like, money is a huge relationship issue. And they want to give us what we want. They really, really, really do. And, you know, if they're not capable of giving us what we want, like they'll tell us, you know, because they are, you know, they're their teammate trying to kill a mammoth, you know, and they're super direct. They want to know what's going on. I mean, I was talking with Mike last night and I was like, man, you know, it was Halloween, and I was hanging out at my ex-husband's house where the kids are, and I was just remembering all of that struggle and how I tried to be somebody that I wasn't, and how I tried to like hide all of my complaints, and then I would just stew and be so angry, you know, and I would turn myself into somebody that I wasn't. And you know, Mike was saying, oh, baby, I don't want you to be like that. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to be like that either. I remember what it was like to be like that. I don't like it at all. And it's so awesome to be in a relationship with someone where, and you can be, like, this is possible for you. Like, I find that most men would rather have it all be on the table. The thing that frustrates them the most is that they don't understand you, right? And I think it's, sometimes we don't even understand ourselves, and that's why it can be so frustrating for them. But we can get vulnerable and say, listen, I don't even understand myself right now. Like, I just need you to hold me. And they can do that. Like, they want to take care of you. All right, so if this is all making sense, you guys let me know. And I'm going to just summarize really quick. It's so easy today. The summary is quick. Men want to make you happy. Men want to provide for you. And they are going to make up what they think makes you happy if you don't directly tell them. Okay? So they expect you to support them. And because they think that they're out there like killing it, like literally killing the mammoth and attacking armies, like that's what their chemicals in their brain are telling them for you. They're literally killing it for you. So, all right, who wants homework so that we can tangibly make this happen in our lives? So quickly, before I get into homework, just go ahead and invite your friends and your family to subscribe to the Beautifully Authentic, either the Facebook group, this is where I'm doing all these live videos, is in the Beautifully Authentic Facebook group. You can join me every day. Or you can subscribe to the Beautifully Authentic YouTube channel where I'm just uploading all these videos. Either way, you're going to get the awesome information. Share it with your friends so everybody can take a little peeky, and we can create a bunch of peace on the planet and understand each other and ourselves better, and love ourselves, because it's, you know, it's missing in our world right now. Love is really missing, and I want to bring it. So here's your homework. Now that you've thought about what you need, because, you know, we just did that, and then you can put them in the comments. Take a minute to think about what he needs. You know, how often are you doing that? So he's trying to provide for you and the family. Like, it's like number one most important thing for him. You know, as he started his own business, do you support what he's doing, or do you criticize it? Do you think he works too many hours and then you let him know that? Do you support him or complain that he's not around enough? So knowing both what he needs and taking some of the pressure off of him, and knowing what you need and asking for it directly, are all important. Okay, so we get to really get real with ourselves about, like, how nice, how loving are we being? You know, are we being supportive and nurturing the way that really is truly very natural for us to be? I mean, we're created by God to be mothers, and the only reason that we aren't naturally loving is because there was a huge lack of love in our own childhood, right? And so that's the work that I do. I work with people to reprogram that pain, reprogram all of those walls and issues that are like, whoosh, that make you criticize other people. Like, don't you want your relationship to be a place where no one ever hurts the other one? Like, I have that. It's taken me 25 years to learn it, and I can teach it to you in 6 months. Most people, it takes about 6 months. If you want a relationship where you're not hurting your partner and by your partner, reach out to me, ask me for a complimentary session. I am happy to give you a complimentary session. I want this for you so badly. I was crying last night, remembering what it was like to not have this. And, like, literally my heart was breaking, and I was like, I just want to teach people how to love. You know, I really just want to teach people how to love. And that's why I'm doing these daily Facebook posts. It's super important for me personally to share all of this so that you can have it also. And I know that sometimes the learning isn't tailored specifically to you. And I want it to be. I want it to be tailored specifically to you. I want to support you personally in what's going on. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to support you. It's amazing what you can find out about why your relationship is crappy you know, when you find out things about yourself that you're holding back, you know, and then you let yourself be free. And it's amazing. The feeling inside of you is amazing. And then what happens in your relationship is incredible. So sometimes it's just a little adjustment in your thinking and everything shifts. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sharing me time with me. You know, for you, like, you can give yourself a little pat on the back because you took a little time out of your day to learn something new. You need to do something for yourself every day. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care if you're a mom with 10 kids or if you have a job with a boss who's like super, you know, whatever. Take a little bit of time for yourself, whether it's meditating or taking a bath or sharing me time with me, whatever it is that supports you to get the learning or the peace or whatever it is that you need. I appreciate you being here with me today and taking the time for yourself. Make sure to acknowledge yourself for doing something to support yourself through learning and caring about yourself. And you're on the road to self-love already just because you listened to this today. So congratulations, and I will see you soon.